This safety class is very interesting. Particularly, I think at the top it's a little top heavy, but there are some guys later down my rankings that, oh man, physically and athletically they're there. It's just the production isn't caught up there just yet, but they're definitely interested nonetheless. But I'm gonna give you my top 10, boom, prospects, safety prospects in the 2021 NFL Draft. What's crack-lacking? It's your boy Baroshmo. Just in case you did not know, so go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. That would mean the world to me. Put out a lot of draft content. Speaking of which, I'm gonna take whatever the week after New Year's. I'm gonna kind of take that off, kind of sort of. I'm still gonna do mock to mock. I might throw a mock draft in there of my own, and hopefully maybe I'll have the redraft out that week, maybe for 2016. But just gonna take that off. I'll still stream that week, but just to get other projects started going, especially with the Senior Bowl coming up in like 30 days, or at least 30 days of me recording this. There's a lot of things I want to get started, or at least start planning for, you know. But yeah, let's do it. Number 10, and again, if you want to see the full rankings, go to ftfn.com. The link's in the description below and it's the pinned comment. I got Richard LeConte. I hopefully said that right. Out of Georgia. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, man. I got a 4th round grade on him. I might drop it to like a 5th. I just get, like, if you don't recall, his teammate, the guy that played opposite of him last season in 2019. I think it was J.R. Reed. I find them very as similar prospects. I think when it was all said and done, I had a 5th or a 6th round grade on Reed. He ended up going undrafted, I believe. And I just kind of feel that way about LeConte. Dog's mad. But he's just an average athlete, if we're being honest. Maybe a bit above average. He's shown the ability to be rangy and put himself in good positions, though. There at Georgia, he's been very consistent. He's played well this season. He's been consistent throughout his whole career. But at his size, you know, he's going to struggle versus the run, which he has this season. He needs to do a better job of wrapping up. He does have quite a bit of missed tackles as well. It's just, for me, there's nothing that really, I guess, I don't want to say impresses, but like just wows me about LeConte. And that was kind of the same thing I felt about Reed, well, in 2020. So I have him here, 4th round grade. But kind of on the fence about it, because I really wanted to move up another guy I had at 11, but it is what it is. I got Jaquan Brisker out of Penn State. This guy's made quite the name for himself. This is his first season actually in a full-time starting role. He did do a bit of I guess where he was a bit of a rotation in 2019, but he's probably one of the best box-only safeties in this draft class. He's a very sure tackler, only missing 1 on the season. He's 4.6 in completion. He's got 1 interception, 5 pass breakups, 19 defensive stops. You want to see that from your box safeties. He's just a guy that you want around the line of scrimmage, and a lot of teams would appreciate a guy like this on their team. 4th round grade. It's about where you want to take your box safeties. And then Jermaine Sherwood, or I think it's Jamian Sherwood, out of Auburn, dude. This guy honestly could play linebacker if you wanted. Like at 6'2", 220. Like, he actually has played a variety of different spots for Auburn around the defense, whether it's in the slot, deep in the box, linebacker, whether it's inside, outside, coming to bring pressure like from the edge. Like, it's kind of ridiculous how versatile he's been able to be at Auburn. Great combination of size, speed, length, athleticism. This guy's got legit burst, explosiveness for a 220 or 220 pounder. He's very if he could blow up the combine. Very reminiscent of Kyle Duggar. We ended up going to the 2nd round, so I think a big combine from this guy could kind of get him into day 2. And then speaking of day 2, this is where I start my day 2 prospects with Colby Harvell Peel at Oklahoma State. I've really liked this guy since the off season. And I've given him, again, I hate player comps, but I've given him the player comp. I just kind of feel like his game is a bit Bob Sanders-esque. Guy kind of flies around from the sideline to sideline, just makes plays all over the field. We saw that in 2019, where he only allowed 4 first downs. He had 5 interceptions, 13 pass breakups, 4 forced fumbles. And then we kind of saw that again in 2020. We saw that playmaking ability. He had like 2 interceptions through the first 4 games, but then he kind of suffered from this lower leg injury that's kind of hampered him this whole year. Now, where I like him in this rover like box safety role, where he's not quite maybe in the box, but he's not hanging back at deep, because I don't think he's got a long field change of direction. You know, I don't think he's got crazy movement skills like that. I think keeping him close where he can play underneath and not so much out of position to if he does need to go and help deep. Like this guy, he will wreak havoc in the short to intermediate passing game, and I think he could really be a star. Like I said, I'm really high on him. And then we go to Amsah Diallo out of Florida State. This guy honestly he's kind of a forgotten prospect at this point. It's could slip into day 3. With his size, he could end up playing linebacker, actually even with his skill set, because he's got immense physical tools. He's very good around the line of scrimmage. Just wouldn't want to see him downfield in coverage. It's just my opinion. I mean, I like his speed and lateral movement. Plays with a high motor. And I mean, this is a guy, he could slip into the slot around the goal line, or at least if they're using like a big slot receiver, you know. This guy's just got that physicality, you know. This year he was kind of he didn't start the season because of injury, and then I think he only ended up playing 80 snaps before just being like, yeah, okay, Florida State, I'm done. So again, he really needs to wow during this off-season process, or there's a real chance he might slip to day 3. And then we got Paris Ford here out of Pitt. He decided to opt out for the remainder of the season after 7 games. My biggest critique of Ford was just how he missed tackles. This guy, he didn't like to wrap up. He liked to always go for the big hit. And when you're only 190 pounds, more times than not, it won't happen that way. But he got much better. He has only 5 misses all the season through 7 games. He's been a complete playmaker there at Pitt. Again, he is big, like a bit reactionary, and I think he fits better, I say, in the box. I think he's actually best in the slot. So again, 3rd round grade. I think he'd be probably really good as a slot corner. And then here we are to my top 4. You would think I would say top 5, but I already given you a Paris Ford. So Richy Grant out of Central Florida. I love this kid's versatility, man. He's lined up everywhere for the Golden Knights. Primarily this past season, he actually kind of did a bit of both, whether it was in the box, in the slot, or deep. But I think he just edged out his total snaps, just edged out in the box more than deep. But this guy's got crazy, just crazy movement skills. I think he's at best a deep safety. That's where you want to play him, because he is a bit of a ball hawk. And the biggest thing was in 2019 they played him primarily in the slot, and he just got mowed over. He had horrible run defense. It was too physical for him. But this season, it looked like he really accepted that role. He was actually one of the best run defenders in all of college football from the slot and the box. So teams are going to love that versatile move set. like I said, this guy has just been a ball hawk in his own right. He has what, 10 interceptions, 9 pass breakups over his career. I like him a lot. That's why I've moved him to the second round. And then Javon Holland out of Oregon. This guy, I like this guy a lot, but there are going to be questions about his physicality at safety. Which I think is a fair question, because if you date back to his freshman season, you could definitely see a lack of willingness to try to come in and make a play. And he also had like 9 missed tackles. But then when they moved him to the slot his sophomore season, he was, again, you're in the slot, you have to be willing to play the run game. And he was much better at that. Still had the 9 missed tackles, but he had 24 stops. Compared to, I think he had like only maybe like a handful. Like I know they weren't even double digits his freshman season. But this guy probably has the best instincts of anyone in this class. He, again, his length is great. He always is able to put a hand in the catch point. He has 9 career picks and allowed no touchdowns in the slot in 2019. I think the 2 ahead of him are not much further ahead of him. It's just I don't think they have those type of questions. Andre Cisco, man, he's my number 2. I'm utterly in love with Cisco. It's a real shame that the AC injury is going to sideline him for the rest of the year. Doesn't sound like he'll be back for the combine, but he's hopeful. But in 2018 and 2019, he would be occasionally beaten deep. Like he over the course of those 2 seasons, he given up 8 TDs. But this is where people will be salivating. He had 13 interceptions and 13 pass breakups. Like, this guy's got physical and athletic traits that are just really hard to pass on. And I think when it's all said and done, he's going to be best at deep safety. Because I think what we saw through, I think it was 4 games he was able to play, was a bit more discipline in his game. More so in coverage. You know, a bit more discipline in not necessarily taking risks, but also I think I want to say he was a better tackler this year, but it wasn't that much. This guy still takes I think his angles this year when going after ball carriers was a little better, but he just needs to do a better job of wrapping up instead of, like, again, this is a guy that likes to go in for the big hit, but being 206, you know, that's a bit more explainable than 190 Paris Ford. So again, this is a guy I really like. I think he's gonna be one of the better deep safety prospects in this class. I feel really good about the top 4. Like, I'm willing to take top 4 again, like day 2. Then Trevon Moehrig, I think he could go in the first round. This guy he's become a better processor, like, this season. That was kind of like the biggest question going into, not even a question, it was just something you don't think he would have gotten better at, because he was really good in 2019, don't get me wrong, but he was always beating guys not at the catch point, but as they caught the football. Like, he was rocking fools, like jarring the football loose. Now, this season, he's been making plays on the ball. 2 interceptions, 8 pass breakups, only allowed a passer rating of 51.7%. Completion rating under 50%. Again, ideal size and athleticism for the position. So seeing him become better, just, again, a better processor in coverage and being able to get his hand on the ball compared to just rocking receivers at the catch point, I think is very encouraging. I think a lot of teams are going to be like, kind of like that. I think he could sneak his way into, like, that late first round, that 20 to 32 pick, somewhere around there. But that's my list. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as always, do the YouTube thing. And until next time, you be easy, my friends.